hanging out to talk with us about this. But we're going to talk for the first time ever about crafting.
That's right. And, a lot of people have been wanting us to talk about crafting for a long, long, long time. And despite the fact that we all hate it and there's nothing that we know about it, that's not really the reason that we don't talk about crafting on the show, right? When people want crafting, though, they expect us to bring on an expert to talk about the intricacies of it. That sounds like an informative show. That's what we would have done before. That's the type of stuff that you would go to Mog Talk for. Mog Talk would make a great, great topic out of that. So why are we talking about it today is because there's an actual issue that's going on in the world of crafting, in the deep, dark underbelly of Eorzea, which I think the way that this show has been going so far is kind of an apt topic. So I'm going to start off by telling you guys a story. All right, this happened to a friend of mine. Keeping all names out of this because, honestly, the names aren't important. Even the people who are guilty of being the assholes, leaving names out of this, okay? Because we want to bring attention to the issue at hand.
Sure.
To hope that something can be solved here.
Absolutely.
So I have a friend who's big into crafting.
We're even back channeling to Square Enix to bring this topic.
We're trying, and all the other community members out there.
It's happening.
Yeah. I mean, Mithrie, Mr. Happy, Sam, other people who are big out there, champion this cause for us. So basically, this is what happened, okay? I have a friend who's big into crafting. That's like literally all she does, okay? Mm-hmm. She's been happy to do that. She doesn't like doing the end game stuff. She doesn't like getting into even dungeons and stuff. Crafting is what she does, and she has been doing it from like day one, okay? One day, about 2 months ago, she puts up something on the auction house for $780K, which has been selling steady at $780K since Heaven Wards launched. Someone else put one up for $2 million. Someone new. She's never seen this name before. She's very into the crafting market, into the community and stuff. A lot of people on her friends list. They start sending her message about how she's undercutting and how she's a terrible person and blah, 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 blah.
So this is a crafted item that was posted? Okay.
Yeah, and she's flabbergasted. Like, who is this? What the fuck? Where did this person come from? What's going on? And kind of had some exchanges with her, and the person starts saying, you fucked with the wrong bitch. You're going down. I'm going to make your life hell. I'm going to destroy you. Now, at this point, when things started to get out of hand, she blacklisted her, put in a ticket for it. She started getting tells from mules. She no longer spoke or said anything else to this person. From this minute forward, on day one, she blacklisted this person and then reported every single incident here on out to Square Enix. More mules started coming. Some mules started sending sexually explicit comments, which easily would be categorized as sexual harassment. She did the same thing. Blocked them, sent a report in, okay? She has a family member who plays with her. They now think that this family member is a mule or something. They start sending the same messages to her. She's getting more upset. Same thing, though. Blocks them, reports to Square Enix. Next thing you know, mules start following them around, watching what they craft. Now these people's crafted items start showing up on the market board, and they severely undercut to the point where no profit can be made on several things. This friend, again, super into crafting. They have tons and tons of retainers, tons and tons of items. More than half of their market is being undercut to the point where it's no longer viable. They are actively going out of their way to figure out what they are crafting. One of the first responses they get from Square Enix, we'll look into it, obviously, but then they also say, just try and be the bigger person. Don't engage them, which they're not. Try selling different things on the auction house, which they did, and these people still go out of the way to undercut them, sending all kinds of sexual harassment, mule after mule after mule. To this day, she's almost at the blacklist cap on her character 2 months later. Not only that, and how weird and fucked up is this, the main person who's doing this to her went and renamed all of their retainers so they had the same names as her retainers. So, for example, if she had a retainer named John Doe, the other person now has a retainer named John Doe. Every single one.
That's kind of fucked up.
That's really fucked up.
That's very fucked up.
That's super fucked up.
This has been going on for 2 months. It was at the point where she actually took all of the info that she had compiled, screenshots, names, dates, times, sent in one big letter to Square Enix's customer support. Not just speaking to a GM, but to actual customer support. They finally got back to her saying, we'll look into it. As far as she is aware, no action has been taken, which obviously they can't tell.
Right.
We think that maybe at one point or another there might have been a warning or a temp ban because there'll be a few days where nothing happens, you don't hear anything from anyone, and then they're right back with the harassment. They're right back with undercutting all their shit, okay? And it turns out this isn't anything new. This particular person actually transferred from another server that they got ran off of, and now, here's the real shitty part, they have formed an FC, they have a link shell on our server, and they have been shitposting all about her. Turning everyone against her, saying this is what she's doing. She's undercutting everything. So she's not just getting shitty replies from other people. She's getting shit, or from the main people. She's getting shitty replies from people who don't even know her because they're taking this person's word for it. She's at the point now where she has considered quitting the game. She has considered moving servers.
Wow.
She has considered doing all of this different shit just to try and get away from them because Square Enix isn't doing anything. And there's only one thing they have to do, because you know what? This type of person, this type of activity, it's nothing new. It's nothing new to life. It's nothing new to the game. It's nothing new to gaming in general, okay? You can't really stop this, okay? Even if you ban these people...
It's griefing. I mean, griefing happens in every kind of game. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can't just ban these people and then be like, all right, now it's done with, right? So I honestly don't care if this person gets banned or not. But there's a way that you can stop this from happening, and you can stop it from happening to anyone else, because these, quote-unquote, this is what they're being called, crafting cartels, because they do this on other servers too. And not just when someone wrongs them, or they think they've been wronged, when they want to control a market. The reason this is happening is because of crafter signatures. You would think that with your retainers that putting stuff on the auction house is anonymous. But if you craft something, it puts your name at the bottom, so people now know who your retainers are. More than that, if you put something up on the auction house in Nero Grigori, there it is. I'm going to buy it now. I'm going to undercut other people, and they're going to think it was you. There are actual accounts of people doing that and then blaming the person who originally crafted it and getting other people to also run them out.
Wow. That's incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
And the thing is how is Square Enix going to go back and try to unravel this tangled web of bullshit?
All they need to do, though, get rid of the crafting signatures. Or put some option to take the signature off it, because that would stop all of this.
Yeah, in FF11, didn't you have to use a special item or like a special crystal to have your name
put it on there? And I don't remember which MMO it was, if it was FF11 or if it was World of Warcraft, but if you put a crafted item on the auction house, it automatically took the signature off. It warned you, if you sell it on the auction house, the signature will be removed.
Yep, that's 11.
Okay? There are people who... Everyone plays this game for fun. Everyone goes here to escape, to get away from life because it's fun. And there are people who feel trapped, harassed, and abused to the point where they don't want to play a game that they love, because there are people out there who are harassing them, being total fucking shitheads for no fucking reason except that they're fucking evil pieces of trash.
That's pretty fucking vile.
All because of this one tiny little thing that could and should absolutely be changed. I mean, I don't really think that this was or needed to be a discussion or should have been a discussion or anything like this, but it is an issue that needs to be addressed. It is an issue that I think needs to be put at the forefront, because I went around trying to find actual threads about this. Like something that, like at this level, there's no way people aren't talking about it.
Right.
They are, but it's hard to find because they're just these little isolated incidents. Because when you think about it, if you have this whole big free company that's doing this to this one person, there's maybe only one or two people who actually realize what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
And the rest are just taking their FC's leader word for it and piling on because they said this person's a shitbag. Right. Who's actually going to believe their story? You put this in forums, it's going to be taken up because it's witch hunting. But it's fucking happening. And something needs to be done about it.
Mithrie, have you ever come across anything like this? We know that you're an avid crafter. Is this something that you've ever experienced firsthand?
Not harassment. I mean, undercutting, yeah. I mean, I think everyone has. But I'm that dude who also undercuts by one gil, so who cares, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never had to that level.
That's and that's absolutely
me about it.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about at all.
And the biggest cry against removing the signature is that they want to know who's undercutting them. Well, then people can undercut us and we won't know who it is. Good. Oh, well, undercutting is part of the game. That's part of economy, okay?
That's right.
Someone in the chat says, someone undercuts me far enough, I buy it and put it back up and make a fucking profit.
Exactly.
That's how a market works.
Yeah,
okay?
That's fine. Do that.
Right.
The problem is, fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at this point, there's nothing we can actually do about it. These fucking shit posters and these fucking assholes can just prey on all the people they want to and turn entire servers against them so they can get their fucking gil.
Yeah, the problem is not the undercutting, it's the harassment that comes from it. Because, like you said, this has been ongoing for 2 months now. Kahlo's friend has been putting in multiple reports. Every time a new mule pops up, sends a report in. Every time a tell comes in, block, send a report in.
There have been
so many reports.
And there have been people who have sent her messages because they're like, they kind of see what's going on, or they, people will be like yelling or whatever at Idly Shire, and they'll send her a tell and be like, is blah 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 doing this to you because they've done the same thing to me.
Right.
So there are multiple people that it's happening to.
Multiple people that are getting targeted. And how are these
people still fucking around? Because technically, quote unquote, undercutting isn't against the TOS.
We don't care about the undercuts.
But yeah, Square Enix, when you have this many people sending you messages, like the harassment is there, the logs are there. How are these people still getting away with this?
This is clear harassment.
Yes.
That's the part that we're trying to harp on.
And if you can't, if for whatever reason your TOS doesn't allow you to go after these people because technically they're not breaking it, then you need to remove the tool that they're using to find people.
Yeah.
Because even if you decide, let's say, all right, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm going to put the money in. I'm going to server transfer. I'm going to change my character's name. I'm going to change everything, right? I'm just going to fucking disappear, right? If you have their lodestone bookmarked, you still know all their details.
Everything.
Everything.
Yep.
The server they transferred, their new name, everything. There's no way to actually escape it.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like there could be some small systemic changes that Square Enix could make. I mean, really, like, having signed gear, what's the point? I mean,
apparently in the JP side of things, like it's a mark of, it's a pride thing to be able to have your name on it, which I get. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's a crafter being able to mark an item that they've crafted. That's been. That was in Ultima Online.
Sure.
But it was always an option. Like it wasn't like forced on you because you made it.
There was one comment in particular, two comments that I want to talk about. But one of them was someone was pointing out that, it can be done because if your retainer brings back a piece of crafting gear, it's not signed. And they could easily have encoded that to make it signed, right? And then someone else pointed out, they're like, well, you know what? Name being signed on gear and people like flaming you and harassing you through the auction house, that's just the way it is, okay? We all have to deal with it. So nobody should get like a free pass by getting this gear off of the retainers and then be immune to basically being witch hunted for undercutting. Like they think the problem is undercutting, not the name.
Right.
The SIGs on the name.
Right.
And then there was another one that I saw, this was somewhere on Reddit, where somebody was complaining about undercutting, right? Or how they were trying to undercut, they were being told off for it.
Right.
And the guy that they were undercutting actually commented there saying, you piece of shit. You have 5 minutes to take your item off or mark it above mine, or my entire FC is going to undercut all of your business into the fucking ground. Like he's holding the market board hostage,
and that's what we're getting at. It's not the undercut. It's not the undercutting itself. That's not the issue. That's part of a market. That's part of an online. That's an economy. That's normal. Mm-hmm. But it's when you can trace who it is and then systematically go and decimate those people's markets or whatever. It's making the game. The targeting. It's the targeting that makes it specific, right? Like that's the problem, is that they keep coming back and targeting the same person over and over and over again, and there's no way to get out from underneath it.
Yeah, and the thing is, even if this person were to transfer servers, even if they were to decide, you know what, I'm done with my crusade now, I'll stop harassing you, or if they get banned, right? Reputation on the server has been tarnished now. Mm-hmm. They've mentioned that they had so many people on their friends list, who they would trade crafting items with, or that they would get supplies from and back and forth and stuff like that hate them now, and they never came and asked them their side of the story. And what's worse is how kind this person was, because people would look at the auction house sometimes and see that these things cost so much fucking money, and they would send her a message like, hey, if I get the materials for this, can you craft it for me?
Sure.
And I'll pay you blah 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 blah, or is there any way that maybe I could get it cheaper, coming to you at cost and stuff? And more than 90% of the time, she's like, yeah, sure. And then just fucking gives them the item for free. Like, this person is a good fucking person that is being trampled into the fucking ground for no fucking reason.
Because some psychological fucktard.
And yeah, that's disappointing. It's disappointing to hear stories like this, and because that's really what it is. That's griefing. That's
the fucking thing though. Like, there's so many like reports of like sent tells and stuff of clear harassment, but obviously Square Enix isn't doing anything about it. but they're really cracking down on like feast feeding and stuff. Because that's important compared to versus like just completely ruining one person's experience with very clear, obvious
They've
laws.
been told to die. She has gotten a Nero tells. I hope you die.
Nice. I'll stand by that. I didn't send those tells, but you can call them a Nero tells. That's fine.
No, but like, has she ever just put on /busy? And like just tried to ignore them? Like, do they still?
So what? Now they're not allowed to like have tells with their other friends?
Yeah, like that's.
I mean, well, I
Or
would assume,
standing outside your house?
Okay. What if? Okay. I'm assuming most of her friends, she has at least a link shell or something or another way of communication. If they put on busy for, I don't know, 2 weeks and then turned off busy, would they resume, or do you think they would probably give up? Because a lot of times,
doesn't
I don't know. At the same time, though, I could tell her to stop wearing such revealing clothes, and hopefully she won't get raped.
That's not the same thing.
No, it is. You want her to make changes to protect herself against it.
Well,
you
should protect yourself against stupid idiots.
Not against.
Not to where it's going to be ruining your experience in any way. You should not have to completely ignore the tell system to not get harassed.
Right.
Did Kala just own Nika and sexism?
No,
think
That's not the point. That's not the point, though. The point is, all of this, every single bit of it, could be completely 100% prevented if Square Enix just reworks the way they put signatures on crafted items.
I agree. I don't know why that's forced on your stuff.
Right, keep
Square
a special
Enix.
crystal to put a signature on if you use that crystal.
Or even just an option when
Or
you're
an option to turn
crafting
off, yeah.
stuff. Square Enix, that's all we want. Right here, the too long didn't read, TLDR. Make crafting signatures optional.
Problem solved. Then
That's
that person can go craft in their FC where it's private and no one can watch what they're crafting.
You
and
have
it's
just
all done.
made the entire crafting community safer for everyone. Nobody is going to be mad. Well, there might be some people that are mad at it because they can't abuse people anyone, but that's not going to hurt anyone. Yeah. Doing this will hurt no one and protect everyone.
Okay, Team Cap.
You're on Team Cap too, you tool.
All right, hold on. I hate Bungie said there's an option already. What is that option then, please?
Yeah, if there's an option already, let us put that out there for everybody.
Give us the option. We'll just delete the whole last
portion of the show.
Turn off and change retainer names. Turn what off? What are you turning off? If there's a way to turn off signatures, then absolutely people should be doing that.
Because
this just made this entire thing irrelevant.
She did change all of her retainer names. So that has been done already.
Yeah, I mean this like we're the point about talking about this is that it has got like it seems like all of the normal shit that you would do to avoid that stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, just do this. Oh, just do that.
Yes,
like,
turn off the signatures. I'm asking you. I'm literally asking you.
How?
Give us a fucking play-by-play. How do you turn off signatures?
What's the step-by-step on how to do that? I've never seen that option.
Yes, please.
Because it doesn't exist.
Let us know.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I feel like there's a way that if you, like when you make something, if you like, I feel like there's a way that if you like sold it to an NPC and bought it back or something, that would take it off.
I
feel like there was something like that.
Yeah, if we are misinformed, which we've been accused of doing before, and this whole
and it does happen.
We are talking about crafting here. Let's be honest. We're not, we're not expert. Mithrie, do you know of a way to remove a signature from something you've crafted?
Not that I'm aware of now.
No. Yeah.
I don't think it exists.
I think if it was a thing that you could do, Mithrie would know about it. If there was going to be anyone who knows about it, it's going to be Mithrie.
Someone says there's an option in there because I turned mine on, but you can't tell us where it's at.
Don't turn it on. It's already on.
Yeah, it starts off as on. And to the other person who said that they've seen HQ items with signatures, they were found from retainers.
Yes.
They were brought back from retainers.
Yes, they were definitely got from a retainer. Yeah, like I'm like scrolling through my shit right now, and I can't find anything that lets you do that.
Yeah, so let's just say that it's not, because I think that one person
Pretty sure
against
it's not.
everyone else in the room is not working out
Bungie,
for
go
you.
ahead and find out where it is, and we will get you something if you're correct, but I'm 90% positive you're not, so let's just move on from there.
Yeah.
Yep. I thank you, Kala, for sharing that story. We really appreciate it.
I mean,
hopefully
my friend's at the point where she just wants to try and move past this. She hasn't got any tells from them, I think, 5 or 6 days. Maybe they've been banned. That'd be cool, but beyond that, the fact that this is happening in other servers, it's finally to the point after, hearing her complain about this for so long and being helpless to do it, I'm like, you know what? No, fuck this. we're going to use limit break radar. We're going to champion this cause.
It's one thing. Like, it's one thing to put yourself out there to be an asshole on purpose, and to, we expect trolls, dude. We expect people to fuck with us all the time.
And I hate Bungie if you're not actually trolling and you actually think there is one. We're not trying to be asses either. But if there is one, you could save a lot of grief for a lot of people. So just let us know if you find it.
It's really easy to label us assholes, and we are very outspoken as a show, and this isn't an example. No one should have to put up with this in their private game life, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care the endless amount of shit that I get from people for what I do on this. I don't care, but I put myself out there, and I know that's going to be the response. You know what I mean? Like, if someone is just playing this game privately themselves and crafting quietly in a corner, and that's really all they want out of it, and they don't want to get all of this torrent of bullshit, then they should be allowed to do that. As players, they should be allowed to do that. And in instances where you have stuff that's fucked up like this, it does seem like there are small systemic changes that here's the thing. We're not asking Square Enix to get a fucking harassment hit squad out there, or an anti-harassment squad, whatever. That's not it's a
deal
small
with the SIGs.
It's a small systemic change that Square Enix could change, and you know what? There's a good chance that they may not have even thought about this.
Well, a few people in the chat are pointing out that they did a quick search of both Reddit and the official forums, and they have found posts about it on both of them from several years ago.
Yeah.
Well, several years ago. So if you guys are out there and this pisses you off, get on over to the official forums and
That's
let
right.
them know.
Keep posting about it, and it's the only way we'll get it fixed.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. And again, to all the other big names out there in the community, Mr. Happy, Samus, Joe Never, Mithrie, everybody, I'm probably missing people. Nell over at Chocobo, Mog Talk people. I know we're assholes and we don't agree on a lot of stuff, but this is going to help a lot of people. So bring this up, talk about it, push it, get Square Enix to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Thank you so much, Mithrie, for hanging out. I know that we have eaten up a lot of your time this afternoon.